Hey guys, it's Cho, and I'm back with another video. Now, normally after working 1 to 2 weeks for the average person, you would normally get paid 1 or 2 weeks later after completing that work. Now, for those of us that are influencers or content creators, either part-time or full-time, there's this thing called Net 90, wherein we get paid up to 90 days later from a brand for doing completed work.
That is a scam, a grift. It's stupid, it's idiotic, it's moronic, and it's un-American.
Now, obviously, anyone with a shred of decency, principles, common sense, ethics, those things would understand that this payment system is extremely exploitative. It should be unacceptable. However, this is very normal. It's very, very normal in the skincare, beauty, influencing world. And unfortunately, our very own style and beauty doctor herself, Danielle Gray, is now exposing a company called Influential for allegedly scamming the girls out of unpaid work. So this is very unfortunate. Danielle Gray has 100K followers. She is arguably an OG original gangster in this game. So I find this to be incredibly alarming that a veteran could be treated like this, let alone any other influencer. But when even someone as big as her is susceptible to exploitation, I think we all need to take a pause and take a closer look at the story. Now, I have a lot of receipts to get over to cover in this video. Let's start with her initial post exposing this. She says, if you're an influencer or brand rep, I would highly reconsider working with Influential Company because it seems like it's part of their system to get from influencers and then ignore us for months when it's time to get paid. I got ghosted back in February after I submitted live content and an invoice. I'm not the only one. So she talks about how this brand or this company or this third-party company is basically ignoring her, not paying her dust, not giving her flowers, and paying her what she deserves. Okay. She then commented on their Black History post. Let's read this over here to the second. I find it to be ironic that they have a Black History post. And she says, I find it hypocritical that you promote this messaging, yet you seem to have a pattern of intentionally ignoring creators who have done work for you, but you ignore during the invoice process. It's crazy. This is crazy. She then goes on to give evidence of 3 different instances of other creators having issues. And I'm just posting all these receipts. Pause them if you need to see them because I want it to be immortalized. I want companies to be held accountable. This whole posting receipts then deleting them, I find to be in poor taste. I think it does a disservice to consumers everywhere. And so I really do think that's important to have this information out there. So yeah, these are the receipts. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. This is not a very uncommon thing, unfortunately, but the whole point of this story is kind of like the conclusion of it all. So she says she finally got paid, but seemingly only after I tagged the CEO in this post. But I'm leaving this post up because so many other influencers are in the same boat. Again, I would highly reconsider working with them if you're a brand or influencer. It's one thing to have issues moving to a new payment system as they claim. It's another to completely ignore people who are trying to get invoices paid while simultaneously courting additional influencers for new campaigns. Now listen guys, I've worked with Regimen Lab and on sponsored content and they would never. I was so happy from start to finish working with Regimen Lab. If you haven't seen that content, check out the description box. I'll post some of the sponsored content that I did for Regimen Lab. They're a fantastic indie company. They are principled, they have ethics, and they are transparent. So I wish more companies would behave like that. However, it does look like Danielle got paid, and I'm so glad that she kept this post up. Like I said before, I think that it's important to immortalize this type of behavior. And as a content creator, I have spoken to a lot of my colleagues in this space who have said shady things that companies have done. However, they never expose it. They never talk about it publicly because they're in fear of their livelihoods. And I want you guys to understand that, like, yeah, I do drag influencers sometimes on this channel because they deserve it. However, they're also being exploited by some of these companies, and this is a prime example of one of those situations. I'm friends with someone online in particular. I'm sure they're watching this video. I'm gonna call you out. I'm sorry. We're still good Judies. We're still friends. Sorry.
Are we gonna talk or are we gonna talk? Okay.
But this person is always throwing shade at companies online on their social media pages. And they never directly expose them or name them. And I find this to be super annoying because if you don't attach a name to it, it doesn't have any impact. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no impact if you don't attach a name. And I feel like it just amounts to useless bitching. Like, if you have a problem with Sephora, say you have a problem with Sephora and why. Do you know what I mean? That's just how I am, and maybe I'm being judgmental. Again, everyone has a different moral compass and people's livelihoods are at stake. Sometimes free speech is not always free. There's consequences for your free speech. And if you attack a company, that could bar you from opportunities. So I get it, but it's also annoying. Listen, pro tip guys, if you don't feel comfortable exposing a brand or an influencer or, you know, just speaking your mind, hell, DM me, email me. I'll talk about it. Okay guys? So like, DM me so I can report it myself for content. I don't mind. I don't care. I have thick skin. I'm not looking for a bunch of opportunities from companies anyway. So I really don't have any skin in the game like other influencers do. It doesn't always take a huge creator like Danielle to blow the lid on something. I implore even smaller and medium-sized creators to really fight for what's right and fight for themselves. Because as you can see in this situation, when influencers and consumers come together to fight against this corporatism and this anti-work behavior, it gets things done, especially on a social media platform. So that's kind of like my takeaway from the whole thing. It's like, speak truth to power, be transparent, and demand transparency from these brands and these companies, because if you don't do that at every level of the way, every step of the way, they get away with this behavior, and this happens to people over and over and over again. Had Danielle not said anything on her channel, there would be more people that this happened to that nothing would happen. Like, they would not receive justice. So I'm really happy that this is exposed, and hopefully it is a sign or a signal to other brands to not behave like this. Companies don't do shit like this. But tell me your thoughts on the story, and like this video. If you don't like this video, you're not gonna get paid your paycheck until 90 days from now. So, and listen, we all got bills to pay. Have a good one, guys. Bye.